Welcome to the club, 'cause you're that kind of nerd.
What up? Welcome to the club. This is That Kind of Nerd, a show where we talk about nerdy things we're passionate about and judge each other on what we bring to the table. I'm your host this week, Josh Burns, and I'm joined by Brian Thornton and CJ Mellon. Say hello.
Script says, say hello here. Hello here.
I don't appreciate either of you trying to steal my thunder by screwing with your opening script, as well as not actually saying hello. Just saying.
My favorite part was Josh got the what up right at the top.
He did
At the top.
Well,
Right at the top.
That's his slate.
We're starting to have our own styles now for this opening. Brian's is fuck the opening.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
right.
I'm not doing that shit.
Josh is like, I got you, but this is the Josh Burns way.
Listen, and to be honest, like let's get down to brass tacks. If this ever blows up to the point where we're making money on it, we will have what up shirts. So you better like copyright that phrase, or trademark it or whatever the hell you gotta do.
That's trademarkable.
We'll just make a shirt and it just says what up.
Yeah, no. Just so we did have at one point our three heads, right? With me with a speech bubble saying seltzer, right?
Seltzer.
Josh, seltzer. Josh saying what up, and I forget what yours said.
Brian's was JSK. I've got a
That's
tattoo
right.
on my leg.
That's right. For reference, I can just look at Josh's leg.
Wait. Rewind, because I need a refresher. You have JSK tattooed on your leg?
I have what up. I have the what up bubble and the JSK bubble tattooed on my leg.
I don't get a bubble, right?
I was not going to tattoo Seltzer on my leg.
Josh, I am on you forever.
That's right. Oh, and so is your head. I have
Right.
I have
So
the
is my
logo.
head?
Our likeness.
Yeah. I have your likenesses on
How
my
high
my
up the inner
bodice.
thigh is my head?
It's anterior calf. It's anterior calf.
This is the thing. Someone once said, "Hey, are you ever gonna update the logo a little bit more and do more realistic heads?" I'm like, "No, we can't. It's on Josh's leg. I can't change.
We can update the logo. It's not going to bother me. Here's the thing. I have another certain someone's initials tattooed on my left leg under a bridge, as if some children graffitied it under there, because he told me I wouldn't do it. So I went ahead and did it.
You won't. All right, bet. Here we go.
No, I won't. Sure, I won't. That's not something Josh would do. Well, listen, everyone. Since relaunching the best nerdy podcast on planet Earth, we have a new show format. Throughout each topic, and sometimes at the end as well, I will judge the conversation by awarding points to my co-hosts, and the winner at the end of the show will be the host for next week. So we have judgment to follow and conversations to be had.
See, that needs to be on a shirt too. Judgments to follow, conversations at the end. There we go.
Conversations to be had.
To be had. Sorry.
That could be the new tagline. What's this welcome to the club thing?
The other one is real conversation, imaginary points. That's the other thing that's on the website.
Oh, is it?
That's true. Yeah, it is.
Real conversation, imaginary points.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know how imaginary. I'm banking all these points.
Hold on. You can't bank 3 points for an episode you weren't hosting and then say, I don't know how imaginary these things are.
Listen, they're not imaginary. I have all these points in a sealed vault in the Cayman Islands, waiting for that rainy day when the zombie apocalypse does eventually strike us. And
Brian,
the only currency
took them
will be...
offshore.
Brian, did you not hear I reinvested that into NFTs? Did you not? Did you get that message?
As long as you got the NFT with the monkey with the banana, but as a cigar type of thing, then that's a legit thing, right? That was a legit thing.
I'm gonna kick off. I'm gonna kick off this show with my frustration.
Oh, yes.
Is it that movie reviewer you sent us? 'Cause
It's the movie list. This jackass. For those listening at home, I watched a TikTok where this guy, he's like, I'm going to give you my top 5 heist movies, right? He had it titled Bank Heist, and he's like, I gotta modify that, and it was 3, I'm gonna make it 5, and I'm like, oh, this should be a good list, right? And he kicks off with Entrapment, and I went, nope.
Josh, I did the same thing. You sent us this, and I watched it, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, heist movies
screaming.
in general,
I'm yelling
right?
at my... No. I'm yelling at my phone. Laura's like, what's going on? I'm like, look, this guy's a fucking clown.
Well, let's be honest. Entrapment is a fine movie.
It's fine.
It's
all right.
not
It's
top.
fine.
It's not top 5. It's not
It
even
doesn't-
top 20.
It's not top 20. It does
it's
not
just,
make.
It's just
but
fine.
this
If
guy-
the list were movies that I like to see Catherine Zeta-Jones in,
Right.
sure,
Right.
top 5. Entrapment.
Yeah, yoga pants didn't exist back then.
Exactly.
She was wearing them.
She made them popular. I would imagine the yoga pants craze came because of that scene.
Catherine Zeta-Jones gets credit for yoga pants. The laser scene
look,
itself.
What I'm gonna read verbatim what I said to you two. I said, watch as this fucking clown tries to be a film snob whilst simultaneously proving he knows fuck all about movies. He introduced number 5 and I nearly threw my fucking phone, knowing that he was going to miss at minimum 4 of my top 5. And sure enough, he took a hard left at Moron Junction and drove all the way out on a complete asshat highway. I'm so angry. So look,
Would it be helpful if we played the audio for that TikTok and then we can
I don't know.
you can dissect it?
It's long.
It's a long
is it?
TikTok.
Oh, I thought it was
and
a-
listen,
I don't wanna
listen.
do-
I don't want people shutting off the
No,
podcast.
I don't want anybody watching this guy's reviews. My
Also,
God.
yeah. Also, don't want to like. Unfortunately, you're probably going to put the TikTok link in there, and he'll get
I will
views
not.
just based
I will
on
not.
our rage.
I'm not. We're not even saying his name either. That's how.
Josh,
how
no,
we're not
I'm
going to
not-
drive
I'm not.
an
Josh,
impression here.
Legit, like I had a bad feeling when and listen, this is not an indictment of people who wear these types of things. The moment I saw the Coors Light hat, I was like, I don't know about this.
Oh, questionable judgment already.
You have questionable judgment in beer. I can't imagine what your judgment in movies is.
This is look. If you are a person, listeners, if you are a person who creates content saying this is my opinion of this medium that's out there in the world,
Perhaps you're 3 people who may do that
maybe
on a weekly basis,
right?
And award points to
maybe
whoever has
have
the best.
some sort of weight to your list. Like this is not only was a list all over the place, it didn't include really anything that people would readily identify as an amazing heist movie. Now, I mean, look, Den of Thieves at 4, fine. I mean, it wouldn't make my top 5. It
No.
wouldn't make my top 10. But I like
Absolutely
Den
not.
of Thieves just fine. I like it just fine.
What are his 5 movies? Can I hear the order of the 5 movies?
No.
Entrapment, Den of Thieves,
And
something
then
that
3
shouldn't
movies
be
you've
there.
never heard of.
Yeah, 3 movies that he's like, I'm going to throw these in because I'm a film snob. Rafifi at number 1. which is-
Rafifi and The Killing were number 1 and 2, both from
and
50s, which
look,
I've never
Kubrick,
seen them. I'm
great,
sure they're great. Like,
Love-
whatever.
Love Stanley Kubrick. I have no issue there. But nobody is looking at that movie and going, like, in defining it as a heist movie.
There was one movie that I wouldn't even say was a heist movie besides
that could be considered a heist movie in today's vernacular.
Right.
And I'm
You're going to make
so-
me click on this link again. God damn you.
So what I did for everyone's benefit was I just rattled off the things that came to my head, right? Just the first few things that came to my head, and I'm going to go through this list quickly.
I'm sorry, it's a Coors Banquet hat for the record.
Oh, great. Not even, like,
That's
I'm
not
gonna go-
any better. That's the
just
champagne
for
of beers.
everyone's benefit, right? Pick any 5. Pick any 5 of these.
Three
Baby
Kings. Three
Baby
Kings was
Driver.
another one.
Baby Driver, Ronin, The Score, Takers, Drive, any Oceans movie, any Fast movie beginning at 5, Gone in 60 Seconds, Heat, The Town, Hell or High Water, Inception, fucking Endgame, Time Heist, anyone? Tenet, Italian Job, either fucking Point Break movie,
Either Italian
Domino,
Job movie.
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, any Die Hard movie, Push, Jumper, The Losers, any of these movies.
Yep. Will be better
There's
than
your-
any of the 5 that he listed.
Take any
Yes.
5 of those. Any
Right.
5. I don't care. I don't care which 5 you take.
The
Right?
Town.
And I left out every movie with the word heist in the title.
Right, you put a filter in there.
I did. I didn't even think. I know Gene Hackman's in a movie called Heist. I'm not going to include that. Morgan Freeman's in a movie called Heist. I'm not going to include that. Danny DeVito's in a movie called Heist. I'm not going to include that.
Yeah. It's insanity.
People, I need you to do better, right? I need, just pick a lane. If you want to be a film snob, say it. But then you can't say Entrapment
yeah.
or Den of Thieves.
Right.
Right?
Those
If you're
are
gonna be a
not the
snob,
film
then
snobs.
Then it's got to be like the French Connection. You know what I'm saying?
It has to be in the Criterion Collection, or you're not allowed to talk about it. That's the only answer, right? If you're going to be a film star. This goes back to the real crux of this argument, right? Which is, I think, an anchor for this entire show that we have said time and time again. There is no definitive list of anything until Josh Burns weighs in. And this is an example of, again, no, sir, I deny your request for your top 5. It has been denied. That list is no longer valid.
That being said, please send all of your lists for everything to Josh on social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or to that kind of nerd. We'll make sure we get it to Josh. He will judge you accordingly. I'm accepting all lists, not just movie lists. If you have a list of your favorite Freezy Pops, Josh will judge it. And most likely talk about it on the show and say, what the hell is this? Cherry is clearly number 1. What is wrong with people?
Cho-Chos are not pops. They are ice cream in a cup. All right. So I award this gentleman no points, and may God have mercy on his soul.
Very good. You know what, Josh? Then that's a perfect segue. Then, if you don't mind, for my topic.
Oh, please kick it off. I'd love to hear something else.
Yeah. So my thing was this: I was rebuilding my Plex server. Right. I was having to go through all my movies again and put them on there. And I was going through the movie list, going, "Hell yeah, this is a good movie. That's a good movie." And I asked myself a very simple question, which was, what movies were set up for sequels, but they never happened, but you would like to see it happen? And Josh, you spurred the connection real quick. Is you mentioned 2 that were immediately on my list, which were Push and Jumper, where, listen, they're not the best movies, but they set up a good place that you could go on for a sequel and maybe make things a little bit better, right? I understand why you set it up and it didn't work, but it definitely would have been worth a shot. So, those are 2 that are on my list, which I am not calling a definitive list of anything, as we just learned I can't. So I've got those 2 on my list. So I'm kind of curious from you gentlemen, if you have a list of movies that set up sequels that never happened, but you would like to see happen.
A-Team.
A-Team?
A-Team.
A-Team. I thought you were saying 18 like it was a sequel to 13 or something. You'd be like
18 again?
I didn't know 13 was, or 18
it's a
again.
Or
or
13 going on 30. It's just 18.
13 going on 30. You're right. Yeah, 18, 80 going on 18, right? Something like that.
18 going on 80. That's no.
A-Team. A-Team. Gotcha.
100% set up for a sequel, and one will never be made. And I will also say The Losers. The Losers should have a sequel.
That was on my list also.
The Losers, Losers was set up for a sequel. The way I'm taking this question is this was clearly in the script. We were trying to do something here, and because as much as I love The Losers, I don't think it was set up for a sequel. A-Team was.
You don't think The Losers was set up for a sequel?
I'm not gonna lie. I have to rewatch it again, but I'm pretty sure. Like from what. I mean, very much like the A-Team, it was very like ambiguous as far as like, oh well, now we're doing this thing now. But like that, I don't remember anything being specifically set up for this is a sequel. Like this is what is going to happen in the sequel. Whereas with the A-Team, at least A-Team ends with what essentially is the opening crawl of the television show, which is if you need something. So at the very least, like I view that as like, hey, we'd like to do a sequel and we'll just do another adventure with these guys. Or if you want to be real crazy, you can say, oh, this is the prequel to the television series. And now I can just watch the whole A-Team television series. I'm going to start off with my strongest one and the one I'm most passionate about, because I will talk about it for hours and you will need to cut me off. Tron Legacy is a crime that I never got a fucking sequel to.
Agree.
And quite literally, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying this is specifically set up for a sequel. You cast Cillian Murphy as the Dillinger's son from the original Tron, clearly going to have bigger ramifications in a sequel, right? You end that film with Olivia Wilde's character, the program, I forget her, Cora was her name, coming out into the real world. Clearly we were setting up an idea of, hey, what is this going to look like in, computer programs in the real world? How does this affect us moving forward, right? Like that movie, you were ending storylines, you were ending Jeff Bridges' storyline and starting something new with Garrett Hedlund. And it is a fucking crime that the fate of a sequel to that film was tied to a shitty-ass Lone Ranger movie, because that movie is amazing. Yeah. I love that film. Yep. I love the original Tron. And here's the thing about Tron. Tron in general, as a concept, was, and I think it's why this sequel was so like Disney was very trepidatious about doing it because the first movie is not exactly a Disney classic. And I think the issue is that movie came out in 1982 and it's about being trapped in a computer, being controlled by programs. And the point I always make is like way too early, too far ahead of its time.
Right.
Because in 1982, we weren't thinking like that. But then The Matrix comes out in 99 and we're like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing. Like Tron did it first. And now in what year did, I think, 2008, 9? What year did would Tron come out, Tron Legacy?
Tron Legacy 2010?
Anyway, Tron Legacy comes out. And it's this idea about, programs having freedom and goals and, ideas of their own. Clue's whole idea is that he wants to go out into the real world and fight for the program's freedom to do whatever the hell they want. And once again, we're seeing, it's Free Guy, like we're seeing more movies about that, right? But we're also seeing in the real world things like ChatGPT and AI starting to rear its ugly head and, things like that. It's just, this movie is, every time we do a Tron film, it seems like it's too early.
Brian,
my point is this. I want another, and yes, I know there's another one coming out. It's not a sequel to Tron Legacy. It's a reboot.
Is it a reboot?
Yeah.
That's just the third film in the Tron franchise.
Yeah.
Even if it's a reboot, that would be a third film in the Tron franchise, would it not?
You'll enjoy Garrett Hedlund in Tulsa King when you watch it. He's good.
It's on the list, don't worry.
Yeah.
7 years later. Hey, Josh, I watched this. The fifth Tron movie is already out, but I really like this one that you just did.
The only movie that comes to mind, CJ, like Brian's like, no, stick to the form factor of the question. Fine. The only movie that comes to mind regarding, actually there's two that like said we will be back. Rock and Rolla, Guy Ritchie's Rock and Rolla at the end says.
Does it really?
Yeah, it says Archie and the will return.
Horror.
And Wanted was same thing.
Oh, yeah. Sure. So on my list, right, because I had more time to think about this. I had Push. Brian, this was a movie I think you kind of told me about.
I actually have like 7 more.
I Am Number 5.
Yeah, I loved I Am Number 4.
I Am Number 5.
Yeah.
Right?
That's on my list.
I Am Number 4, right?
So maybe the sequel would have been I Am Number 5. But isn't number 5 in that film? I think it's 4 and 5.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice. That movie was set up for a sequel. I would want to see it even when
Is anybody really taking Jay Baruchel seriously?
I don't care. I'll watch. Oh wow, guys, I got powers. I'll watch it. It's not a problem. Okay. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. We watched.
That's on my list too.
For our spoiler cast, and
LXG,
it was
loved. Listen. I think in our spoiler cast we were very, very clear. Like this is not a great film.
No.
It's a fun film.
Yep.
It's a film I would have loved to see a sequel.
I would have seen another one
to have more fun.
Yes.
You know.
I had the 2018 version of Robin Hood with Taron Egerton.
I didn't even see that.
Okay, and then I had Jumper.
Yeah, Jumper. I'm going to throw another one at you that I think we're all going to agree on. Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy trilogy needs to be completed. Hellboy 2 is actually, I like it better than the original Hellboy. And I would love to have seen that finally get finished. I also very much was on the I Am Number 4 train. Out of all of the YA like movies that were coming out at the time, like I Am Number 4 for some reason
really good.
Was the one I really loved, right? And unfortunately that never came. LXG was on my list. But I got 2 more that I'm like I would have really loved to see a sequel for, and one other that I think would have been terrible, but I still want to watch it. The Mummy 4, because at the end of Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, they legit say, oh yeah, I heard there was this thing in Peru, clearly setting it up for a Peruvian sequel. Brendan Fraser's back, so
his renaissance is happening. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it. Let's do an old Rick maybe training his son to be a badass. I don't know. The other thing was they did 3 out of the 4 Dursley Children Narnia books. They did Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Mm-hmm. They did Prince Caspian, and they did Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And there's actually one or two more starring the Dursleys. I believe the Silver Chair and the Last Battle were the final two. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Dawn Treader did that bad.
It was.
But I don't know why we just finish it. Like, you're so close to the end. Just do it. And then the last one, which I think would have been awful, but God, I really would have loved to see it. The train wreck that it could have been. Mark Wahlberg's Planet of the Apes, directed by Tim Burton, ends with him getting back on Earth to a planet ruled by ape men, and there's an Abraham Lincoln statue in the Lincoln Memorial. I remember watching that and be like, no way. And now, I watch that film now and I'm like, not good. But I would have loved to see that sequel and to see the train wreck that would have been, because I think that would have been interesting. So those are the things when you ask. Oh, and I have one more. Completely forgot about this. John Carter is a good movie that deserved a sequel. I am not joking. I know it was insanely expensive and it did not make its money back, but I enjoyed it.
As a fan of Taylor Kitsch,
right?
I okay, but that shit was terrible.
Nothing would make me happier for him to finally get his career.
Oh,
but no,
terrible.
not for
Look,
John
Taylor
Carter.
Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch has done some fine stuff. Mm-hmm. I left.
Yeah, he did The Covenant. That's another.
I don't know if it's left. I don't know if it was set up this way. But if anyone does a little bit of what movie should have a sequel, Googling, I thought this doesn't make sense because she was a little girl, but Matilda the Professional makes a lot of sense to me.
I don't think it was set up for a sequel, but that is something. Or if we're making up sequels, I'll see that shit. Right. Now, especially now that she's an adult.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Give me. Taylor Kitsch has done some good stuff. I'm sorry. I'm still looking up Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch has done some great stuff.
Listen, I hear Taylor Kitsch. I think John Carter, which I enjoyed. I think The Covenant, which is trash. And I think of X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is...
Oh, see, I'm more like Lone Survivor, American Assassin.
Friday Night Lights.
Either of those. I haven't seen Savages. He was in Friday Night Lights.
Savages was fucking great.
He was,
and you haven't seen Savages, like Aaron Taylor Johnson, Taylor Kitsch, Blake Lively.
I know the movie.
Is there another Taylor in there too? Any?
Right.
All the Taylors.
John Travolta.
Robert Duvall.
Yeah, I mean,
Brian, any other movies to add to this?
None that are jumping to my brain right now. I'm sure I could think of more, but those are the ones Brian, I'm passionate about.
I'm giving you 3 points for having keeping us on track with not parsing the question. And also for how I think Tron maybe was the best movie of the bunch there.
Yes.
Yeah.
CJ, I'm giving you 2 points for rebuilding your Plex server. And listen, Push and Jumper are guilty pleasure films of mine. I love those two movies. So I'm giving you another point for
Yeah. We're even.
We are tied.
Brian, what do you got for us?
All right, so I dropped a link in the chat here. This link is the 51 most anticipated movies of 2023. So here's the story about how I got here. I had a topic, and then I realized that my topic is much better served if I'm the host, so I had to come up with a new topic. And in my fervor to catch up with a new topic, I also noticed, and as we were chit-chatting and text message back and forth, the trailer for Fast X dropped. Fast 10, Fast X, whatever the hell you want to call it. It dropped this morning, and this led me down the rabbit hole of, listen, Ant-Man Quantumanium is coming out this weekend. We have Fast X. It's a bunch of movies. It's shaping up to be a pretty big 2023. And so I was looking up at some of the most anticipated things, and what I want to do is just give you guys a chance to look over them, and let's pick out maybe our top 3 that we are most excited for. Now, I'm also willing to talk about the top 3 that you didn't even know were fucking coming out, because I looked at this and I said, wait, that's happening? Because I haven't heard jack about it yet. So by all means, take a look over the list. The only thing I will say, Knock at the Cabin is already out. I mean, I don't really care. I don't think either of us were really hyped up about an M. Night Shyamalan movie coming out. But everything else on the list is fair game. And the way I look at this is, yes, Marvel is absolutely a contender, you can absolutely say, but, it doesn't have to be the superhero stuff, right? Because when I look at this, I noticed that, and it may not even be on this list, but, no, it is. Scream 6 is coming out next month, which I am actually very excited for, because I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and this is taking it into a new direction. It's no longer in a plucky little suburb. It's like in New York City. I'm really interested to see how do we do this Ghostface type of story in that setting. But then there's just movies I completely forgot were coming out. I forgot John Wick 4 was happening. CJ, you just gave a look on your face.
Yeah, I was going through the list. A lot of this, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for. I knew about it. Yeah, I'm excited for. I knew about it. And no big surprises. And then I saw Martin Scorsese starring Leonardo DiCaprio opening July 14th, Roosevelt, the legacy of the 32nd president, with Leonardo DiCaprio playing Roosevelt.
Yep. Didn't know it was happening.
What?
Don't know.
And also, I mean, how much makeup? Because Roosevelt, he wasn't a looker, right? Like, And
well, it'd probably be about the same amount he wore for Hoover.
True.
That is.
Here's the one that caught me by surprise, and it's coming out in August, and it's
oh my
made
God.
me think about this. It made me think about Josh. I don't know if this is what you're hyped up for.
Yes.
Gran Turismo.
Oh no.
Has a movie. Okay, no, that's not. Then we're not talking about the same thing. Josh, Gran Turismo has a movie coming out in August. Did you know that?
I saw the trailer.
Directed by Neil Blomkamp, who also directed District 9.
It's got Sheriff Dumpster Fire in it, amongst others.
David Harbour, Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jaimin Houston.
And like it's cool. I just don't know how you're gonna do that.
You do it just like the Need for Speed movie, which I maintain is not a bad film. With Aaron Paul, yes.
I'm about to explode.
You getting all hyped for?
I'm about to explode. Holy shit, stop the presses. Also in August, right above Gran Turismo on the list, ladies and gentlemen, The Meg 2. The Trench.
You
with
didn't
Jason
know?
Statham.
Yes. Meg 2 is coming out in
We got a
August.
sequel to The Meg. Guys, we're going to the movies together again, okay? Josh, you have JSK tattooed on your body. We have to go see this.
It's actually difficult for me to say like 3 movies that I'm most excited about, because
This year is really
very
stacked.
Like, look, Creed 3 I think is going to be great. Obviously, you said John Wick. I don't need to go rehash it. Air, gimme.
Air looks great. Yeah.
That looks great.
Ben Affleck directed Air. Give me that, right? And there's Guy Ritchie has
I saw that.
a kind of one like a paradigm breaker for him. So I'm very interested. But there's some stuff later in the year where I'm like, I had no idea these were even coming, and I'm kind of like, what the hell? Like, we know Dead Reckoning is going to be great. Roosevelt, okay, I had no idea. Oppenheimer, okay,
So
that
good.
makes
Oppenheimer
perfect
is
sense.
going to be good.
But like at this point, we're only up to August, and like, look, I love the Equalizer series. Give me more of that.
Yep. And that's one of the ones that was like, I didn't know this was coming out. They're doing a remake to The Exorcist. They're doing a brand new Exorcist in October, directed by David Gordon Green, who just did the most recent Halloween films. I remember your stories about The Exorcist, Josh, so I'm sure you're very excited for that film.
Or not at all.
There's a Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know
that's been in
about
development
this.
for a long time.
I had no idea that it was even happening.
There's a David Fincher movie. There's another Wonka movie. There's Dune, which by the way, I love that Dune series. That Dune franchise is great. It looks like The Color Purple the musical will be
right in theaters.
Give me all these movies. There's a Zack Snyder, Charlie Hunnam movie coming out.
Isn't that his like, this is my Star Wars, and isn't that the one that's coming out on Netflix?
And this has a really serious cast.
I have to scroll down to see.
Yeah, that's coming out in December 22nd, but it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam, Sophia Boutella, Carrie Elwes,
as long as
Corey
Netflix
Stoll.
doesn't full house, we'll be able to watch it.
I mean, even if it does, it'll get sold to like Amazon Prime or something. Like, no joke. Like that's what That's what we're doing.
Give me the Netflix movies. Hemsworth has a Netflix movie that's already Extraction.
He's getting a sequel this year too for that. Right. The Extraction 2 is coming out.
It's a ridiculous number of movies.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a ridiculous number of movies.
You know what this reminds me of, Brian? This is finally we're getting back to the movies are coming back, right? Like
back to 2019.
Like we're back to pre-pandemic. Like, hey, there's shit that will actually make you want to go to a theater.
Right. We're not playing safe anymore.
Right. Like, okay, I'm gonna risk it to go see, Oppenheimer. Like, yep. Like June, we got Across the Spider-Verse. Yep, I'm going.
Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse is probably my most anticipated film, even though and that's my point. This is a year of just awesome banger after banger after banger. And
care about the Oscars this year. All right.
None of this is getting nominated for an Oscar. None of it. Dune 2 might.
Time to put the Stubbs membership.
Yeah, you know what? It's time to get A-list back up.
I have it. It's, I just haven't been using it.
So looking at this list, not to hijack your topic here, Brian, but
the point was for you to hijack my topic. Go.
I'm looking at this, and there are movies that clearly I should be really excited about, and that I am excited about. I mean, I almost exploded into a ball of confetti when I saw the Meg 2 was dropping. Right?
I can't believe you didn't realize that was happening.
I didn't know.
I don't understand how you always focus on the wrong thing.
Well, hold on. No. The movie. No. Wait.
Hang on. We need to mention Mission Impossible is coming out this year too.
Correct.
Continue.
The movie that I'm looking at this though, I keep scrolling back up to be like, I have to watch this trailer. Can we just stop doing this fucking show for a minute so I can watch the goddamn trailer? Is Air.
You haven't watched this trailer for Air yet?
Yesterday.
I'm sorry. My life is consumed with video games.
Not only
now.
did I send it, but I sent the reason why it's so important that you watch this trailer.
I'm really excited for
Listen, that movie looks great. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry I let you down, Josh. This is why I don't have a quote tattooed on your body, right? I've let you down too much.
That's right.
It should just have an arrow that says "let down." That's what
let down. No,
wow.
Ever. No. But listen. Air. For those of you who don't know, is the story of how the Air Jordan shoe got made. It's directed by Ben Affleck. It stars Matt Damon as the main sort of Sonny. I can't remember his last name. It does. And listen, this is not a movie about Michael Jordan. This is not a movie about basketball. This is not a sports movie. This is also not a biopic about Phil Knight, although Affleck plays Phil Knight. It's not that. Right, this is about the shoe. And the shoe changed the world.
Yeah.
Period. I don't think you can think of American fashion without having the Air Jordan there. Nike was a nothing brand, and they're now one of the 10 most recognizable brands in the world, and it is because of this shoe. This is the shoe that all other shoes are patterned after. And it's unbelievably culturally important. It is something that links people from all different walks of life, right? If you look, you can be on a bus, a train, a plane, a subway, whatever, and see a guy in a suit with a pair of Air Jordans on,
right?
And a kid with torn up jeans with a pair of Air Jordans on, and these two look at each other and go, "Nice kicks."
Right.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
I have never owned a pair of Air Jordans. Is that why I don't have friends?
That's a problem. I've got about 20 of them.
I'm with you on this one. I also have it, but that's just because
I wasn't allowed. As a kid,
right,
I wasn't
exactly.
allowed. Right?
Was not allowed to have it.
My parents were not spending the money on that.
Correct.
So now, right, I'm going, well,
I'm an adult. I have adult money.
I have adult money. I have money to spend. I have 60-ish pairs of shoes down here in display cases, and very many of them are Air Jordan, different variations on the Air Jordan shoe. But I will say that, like, in terms of how important this development was, like, I can't think of anything other than denim that is this important in fashion. Think about what jeans are. Everybody wears everybody wears denim.
I'm wearing jeans right now.
Right.
So
or am I?
Or am I? But that's what Air Jordans are. And this movie, immediately I saw it and I was like, yes, it's gonna tackle the important stuff, the shoe.
The important stuff, yes. I think and I think that's probably would be my because I don't consider that like a genre film, right? My non-genre film for this year. And I said this to you when you brought it up, right? Ben Affleck directs it, I'm in.
Yep.
I have yet to see a Ben Affleck directed film that I do not like actively hate. Argo, amazing. The Town, you want to talk about heist movies, going back to your topic,
Yep.
The Town is probably, besides Heat, one of my favorite all-time heist movies.
The Town topped Heat.
In my opinion, yes. But but plenty of people will fight you on that. But
Well,
I love The Town way more than I enjoy Heat.
Yep.
Ben Affleck listen, he's a talented actor. I think he's an even more talented director, which makes me even more angry why I never got a Ben Affleck directed Batman film, because I would have loved to see what he did with the character. But yeah, so, anytime I see directed by Ben Affleck, I'm in. So that gets me excited, just almost as much as Magic Mike will get all the 50-year-old women excited this weekend. Just
that, and they're going to go see that 80 for Brady, right? It's those two movies that are
80 for Brady. I thought it was 18 going on 80.
No, 80 for Brady.
80 for Brady.
Jane Fonda,
Sally Field, like.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I don't care about that. Brady, like Tom Brady, like
Tom Brady,
the foosball guy.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, no, thank you. Notice how that is not one of the 51 most anticipated movies of 2023.
This is a stacked list.
And then there's some stuff that, I watched the trailer and I'm like, I'm in, not because you're based on an IP or anything, just because you seem fun. Like 65 seems fun. And I know we talked about this before with Adam Driver. Oh, I'm
not
in.
sold on it yet.
I am sold on it. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Yep.
Give me.
I'm in.
I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons. But
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. Super Mario Brothers, we've talked about that before. Even I don't know if you guys have watched this trailer for Beau is Afraid. This looks interesting.
Yeah.
Just like in Evil Dead Rise, the first Evil Dead movie we're getting besides the reboot. No Ash, no Bruce Campbell, but it looks scary. Yeah, this is just a stacked year. Really so I guess my purpose with this whole discussion is this. Renew your AMC stubs, your Regal Unlimited Movie Pass, whatever the case may be, because 2023 is going to be a tough year to beat as far as movies go. I haven't seen a year this stacked since not even 2019, it's before that.
Incredibly stacked.
I would just, because now I'm going to get IMs, tweets, I'm going to get everything.
No, I'm not doing Movie Pass.
I'm not doing Movie Pass. Don't you ever suggest it to me again. I don't want it. I don't need it. I understand it's back. It's dead to me. Please leave me alone. It should have been
dead to you when Josh and I were telling you to kill it.
Again, I milked every last penny out of that company. I won so hard with that Movie Pass. It's dead now. Okay, guys, it's over. Stop sending
milk as a verb. Can we not use milk as a verb? It's just an ugly, ugly verb.
I wringed out every last penny from the...
Yeah. Extracted, absolutely.
Out of this entire slate, 2 movies I do not need. I don't need Kraven the Hunter. Can we just stop that? Can we just stop that right now?
Oh, please. No, I know we...
I'll take Aquaman 2. I don't need The Flash.
I know we talked about this too, but Cocaine Bear can...
Yeah, I mean, I don't need Cocaine Bear.
No, thank
you. Listen, there's not... It's not all sunshine and roses, but most of it is.
Josh, I'm sorry, Luther. The Luther movie.
I know. I haven't finished the series.
Me neither, now I have until what? March 10th? Okay.
Yeah,
shit.
That's not enough time.
That's not enough time. But it's a Netflix movie, so
solid.
I can watch it whenever I need to. So
yeah, that's
Luther.
fantastic.
There we go. It's on the list.
Any Idris Elba? Give me all the Idris Elba.
So that being said, and actually I didn't plan on this, and I know I'm not hosting Josh, but I know we were talking about AMC. CJ, do you want to illuminate Josh on what's going on with AMC right now?
Yeah. So we even just said renew your A-list, and I'll tell you a little bit of why. AMC is set to change their movies theater ticket prices based on where you sit in the theater, almost like a Broadway show or an airline, and they're calling it Sightline. And
so, essentially, if you want the middle seat in the middle row, Josh, you will pay a premium.
What if I want the aisle seat in the middle row?
It's probably middle row is probably going to be your most expensive seating.
All right. What if I want H12, like the aisle seat in H?
Right.
Or
So
J.
here's the thing: they haven't released like what the zone is, right? But they've basically said the desirable seats, the middle seats, right? They're going to be.
I'm never sitting there.
They're going to be more expensive. Now, if you have A-list, you don't pay the extra price.
I know, but I always think about the minimum amount of people I will have to kick out of my way in case of a fire. So I don't sit in the middle.
Again, I think What If There's a Fire is a show that an episode that we have that touches on that very topic.
My question, CJ, is how much do you think the tickets will be for the seats that are right next to the jungle gym?
Oh, those. I think you get paid. To sit.
You get paid to sit in those.
You get paid to sit in those.
Exciting.
They give you a popcorn, and then they say, good luck, but you're leaving with a bruise. So,
Right, either way.
No matter what. And gum in your hair.
I get a popcorn
gum in your hair and a bruise, but you get an icy
fantastic.
and you get a popcorn.
Fantastic. If that's what it takes for me to see a film, I'll go for it.
These are going to be $20 tickets in the middle of the theater, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably more. I mean, especially think about it when you're talking about IMAX, 4DX, 3D movies that are already pretty much $20 now. You're looking at 25 or more for those prices.
They did say that the Tuesday $5 thing will stay, so the prices won't be jacked up during Tuesdays. And right now it's only happening in select movie theaters. But by the end of the year, they said, so you got this year at least. By the end of the year, it'll be AMC's nationwide.
So essentially, AMC is pulling a Netflix and saying, we don't want you to come here anymore.
Yeah, right. Can we make this less fun for you? We already know you hate us, right? Yeah? Okay, good. Let's just make this more difficult and make the 15-year-old kid who's working here get into more conflicts that he's not trained to handle.
Johnny, they're coming back to the theaters. You think we should gouge them now, huh?
Now, listen, we'll hook them in this year and then we'll fuck them next year, okay? Except for those in Chicago and New York. Fuck them now. All right, let's go.
I was talking, CJ, you and I were talking about just movie theaters and ticket prices in general. And I'm like, why don't they charge the premium for your big tentpole titles, right? Your Ant-Mans, the Marvels, and like all these little things that, Ridley Scott wants to get online and cry, oh, no one wants to see my movies. Make those tickets $6 because they cost a freaking song and a prayer to make anyway. And then everybody's happy, and then I might be more likely to go see some shit like The Last Duel if the ticket price was $6,
So, Brian, while I was researching this, some fun facts. They did that in select markets with The Batman, the Robert Pattinson movie, where they charged $2 extra to see The Batman as compared to other movies. And those test markets saw a drop in ticket sales.
The difference is they made the base cost still $10, $15.
Correct. Yes, they did.
And then raised the price. That's not how you do it. You make the Batman $15 and then the other shit $7.
I'm pretty sure the board of directors for AMC also has an overlap with Warner Brothers because they're making very similar decisions as how to make things terrible.
Know everybody in Hollywood listens to this show, so I'm telling you, this
James
is
Gunn.
how you revive theaters. It's the only way you're going to be able to revive theaters because it's not about the movies that are out. It's not even necessarily about the fact that I have Netflix at home. It's about you continue to price people out of the movie theater experience. Like, when we were kids, you could take your entire family and it was a family activity. You would go with a group of friends and it was a friend activity. What high schooler has $60,
Yeah,
$70
it's
to go take a
$40.
date?
It's $40.
Like, come on!
It's $40 to go for Christian to go just like solo with his friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is not an inexpensive endeavor. It's an expensive night.
My point is that was your market. Your market was family and young kids, and you've priced all of them out. So you want people to go see the Batman for $15? I'm fine with that. That's cool. It's a big budget movie. We need to make $1 billion on this film. But your shit that is like The Lost City or your rom-coms, that seem to have disappeared, charge $6 for those things. People will come back. And rant. I'm done with my rant. CJ has a point, and Josh still needs to assign points.
Yeah, all right, so just to bring this full circle, right, back to where we started. On TikTok, I saw a stitch of a woman, and I use woman loosely, it was like a 19-year-old girl, who's like, hey, if you want, like, quiet and silence when you watch a movie, just stay at home. And everyone's just like, I'm sorry, what the fuck? Yeah, she's saying if you want to go to a movie theater and not see people texting or talking, you should do that at home. That's what the movie theater's for.
That's not what the movie theater's for.
Fuck you are.
It's not a social experience.
We need... never mind. I can't say what I want to say.
All right, well, look, I want to thank you both for interesting
we need points.
I know. I want to thank you both for interesting topics. And the points are forthcoming. Again, CJ, I'm going to... again, thank you for the Plex server and the movie selection. You had 3 points. I'm going to add another 3 points for substantive participation in Brian's topic, and I'm going to give Brian an additional 2 points for being the most adorable podcast partner one could ask for.
Thank you.
And then an additional 3 points for the movies that we're excited about and never got made. Thank you for the movie sequels that were set up but never got made. So Brian is our winner this evening.
Wait, I was a winner! Woohoo!
And will host with apparently a topic that only works if he hosts.
Yeah, I do. I have this. I'm glad I get to whip out this topic again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, listeners, for visiting us this week, making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. We appreciate you. We will see you on the next show.
Well, welcome to the club, 'cause you are that kind of nerd.
Crap, I was going to say something else. It was funny, too. Both of you laughed like I said something funny. All right, great. Thank you so much. All right.
Well, 3 of us have real big problems.
Listen. I'm gonna.
I don't know. I don't know if this is in. I don't know if this stays in real time. If this is Stinger, I don't know where this is, but I love it.
So here's the thing, and this can be in the show or a Stinger. You shared with us that we have a new fan on Mastodon, and my natural brain went into overdrive about how crap. I had this much better laid out in my brain like 10 seconds ago.
It fell apart.
Yep,
it completely fell apart.
It fell apart at the end there. Yeah,
much like Mastodon might. No, I'm just thinking about.
Take a minute and think about it, because we can edit out long silence. But
no, it's
we have
gone.
A fan on Mastodon. He's watching Yellowstone.
Gosh, I am getting old.
You're getting I don't know.
Old.
I think my problem just floated right to you. I blitzed it.
This is the second time it's happened to me today. Hang on, I gotta read the text message that you sent with it.